I'm Alan Elliot. This is my block of land. My wife and family moved here in 1985. It was purchased by my grandfather in 1923 along with some other property. This particular spot that we're in now, we knew as kids, and it was just a sand bowl. There was no vegetation in it at all. We later found out that the cause of it was dieback. So dieback, for those that don't know, is a water mould. It affects the root system of the plants and it inhibits its ability to get nutrients. The proteate species are severely susceptible, and they're really dead before they know they've got a problem. So you can't treat them when they get it, you've got to treat them before they get it. In this sort of bushland, if you lose that overstory, the protection required by the understory isn't there, and you lose the whole lot. You go from a functioning ecosystem to a dust bowl. In 2005 or thereabouts, we started treating for dieback.
Glevan were contacted by Alan and conducted the first occurrence mapping of the site, and from there Dieback Treatment Services did the first round of treatment in 2006. From then, every couple of years we've been coming back and doing a treatment cycle. We treat via stem injection to any tree bigger than 100mm diameter, and everything that we can't inject we spray with the foliar spray for the herb and shrub layer.
Landcare SJ's been involved with the Kingia property for as long as we've been around, really. Once the Shire of Serpentine-Jarrahdale adopted a biodiversity strategy, which included recommendations to protect remnant vegetation, high quality remnant vegetation on private property, we've been working closely with the Elliots to maintain the dieback control to protect the immense botanical values that exist on this block.
This area has been treated for the last 10 years, and we can see here each marker indicates a treatment year every 3 years. So you're looking at about 10 years of treatment here, and these markers actually indicate that the dieback front has not moved in probably the last 10 years here. And that seems to be what we're seeing at this property now. That spread is slowing thanks to phosphite treatments. And in areas where the dieback is quite fresh, where there's new infestations, that's still moving at quite a rate. So there is a lot of evidence to show that this is actually working. We can see that the front has slowed tremendously, and in some areas completely stopped.
I do think the treatment is working. We expect dieback to move autonomously about at 1 metre a year. So we've been treating this property for 17 years and seen very little disease movement. From 2006 to now, you'd expect the disease to have moved anywhere from 17 to 20 metres across the site, which it clearly hasn't. Also, there's a lack of expression. So there's no new deaths appearing, which is also attributed to the treatment cycles.
This site that we're standing in now, Alan, you were saying was a dust bowl about 10 to 20 years ago?
Yeah, go back 20, that's when we started treating pretty much, yeah.
So as you can see, we don't have many very old Banksias here in the woodland because this was a dust bowl, but after extensive phosphite treatments, we're now getting some age structure back into this woodland and some ecosystem functioning. Here you can see a Banksia that's grown in this dust bowl. This is probably about, what do you reckon, Al, about 8 years old?
Yeah, about 8, something like that, yeah.
Banksia?
Yep.
You can see that we have a lot of baby, juvenile Banksias recruiting in an area that was completely dry and had nothing. So this is really positive. It indicates that these treatments, although they're quite expensive, are worth the investment because we now have some ecosystem function back into what was a completely dry patch of land.
Yep, just sand.
Sand. Yeah, this has been a real collaborative effort, thanks to Alan reaching out to organisations like the Pilharvey Catchment Council, Landcare SJ. We've been able to provide funding, and fortunately it seems to be working and worth the effort. So big thanks to Alan for your persistence and for looking after this amazing property.
We also should put in a plug for the Shire. They were the ones that sponsored doing the covenanting in the first place. It was pretty forward thinking of them at that time.
It's a really expensive activity. It's difficult to obtain those funds, and through our partners with the Pilharvey Catchment Council, the Shire, other organisations, we've been able to continue the program. After 20 years of dieback treatment on the Kingia property, looking forward to the future, it's important that that investment isn't wasted and that we continue to protect this beautiful piece of property and its importance in the broader landscape.